Hello, welcome back to the next episode of Cure Without Prescription with me, Vasudha. Yes, my lovely soul family. So, how are you? Yeah, uh, how's it going? Uh, Body aches पे काम कर रहे हो? You working on your body pains in general? Yeah. Do feel free to ask me whatever you want to ask me. If you are finding it difficult to navigate through any of the emotions, ask me. And I keep putting a lot about navigating emotions in my another playlist, another series of podcasts called Planet Love. So you can keep checking out there as well. Yeah, so that you can continue to move ahead in your game of love, and that is strong, right? I think love is the highest emotion, and if you can cultivate love, no, you can actually navigate through lot of challenges in your life. Why just health challenges? I think even the challenges you're facing in your career and in your everyday productivity and your own relationship with yourself, your relationship with others in general. So, yeah, do watch out for that. And yeah, my black coffee, I just can't do without it. It's just a small shot this time. Okay, so let's talk insomnia today. Sleeplessness. Uh, I received a couple of mails somehow sharing about one of them actually spoke about how they feel restless as the night begins to approach, and they are in fear of evenings now. And another one, yes, directly asked me, so Vasudha, I just can't sleep well at nights, and I have to really soothe myself to sleep or tire myself to sleep. So what can we do? And you know what, guys? Insomnia in itself is a physical ailment, no doubt, but insomnia is an ailment which can trigger lot of other diseases in the body, right? A body which isn't well rested at night, because nighttime is the time uh, when the moon's out, it releases the hormones, right? Which actually put our brain in a shutdown mode. Every gadget needs to shut down to continue to work in the best condition, be it your cell phone, your laptops, and any other gadget for that matter. It is always recommended to shut it down. So nighttime is the best time to shut it down so that you can actually work with higher productivity and greater clarity in every other sphere of your life. Why just at work, right? So let's talk sleeplessness today, insomnia, right? Huh. So a vicious cycle it is, isn't it? Yeah. I was putting it here. It's like a vicious cycle, right? Of not sleeping at night, yeah, leads to a vicious cycle. So when the morning comes, you want to sleep, right? And the whole day long, your body feels tired, and all you want is, I mean, you're like literally dying to sleep all day long. And when the evening comes, you're afraid. And by the time it's night, you can't sleep again. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at your condition, but yeah, it's something you've created, right? And here on my page, when it comes to my family members, people I love, I I love them in a pure and in an accountable way, right? I can hold you accountable because I am ready to hold myself accountable for everything that I am saying, because I do want you not to stay stuck in this cycle, because I do want my soulmate, my family, to sleep well and do like really well in life, right? So, uh, so what happens? Yeah. Now this leads to this vicious cycle, right? And then you start to stress about you just start losing sleep about sleeping, right? To explain it in one phrase. And then going to bedroom itself starts to trigger stress and anxiety and flood your body with the fight or flight hormones and cortisol. So that's a hormone which is supposed to be released in our body when we are kind of going in a battlefield, when we are going to deal with crisis or some critical situation. And imagine nighttime, your bedtime, which is supposed to be, like I told you in the beginning, is supposed to be your shutdown time, is supposed to be your relaxing time, calming down, and is supposed to kind of institute in your heart, in your brain, in your whole body that calm, that peace which will carry forward the whole day so that you can actually be productive and give your best, right? See, why does this happen? The root cause of insomnia is fear. Now, what kind of fear, right? So, and it is something, insomnia is something which usually happens to people when it comes to their career. They have high career drive and they're kind of even go-getters, and these are the people who are kind of not really afraid of getting into anything. They are ready to always take a leap of faith when it comes to work. But then you would say, Vasudha, what kind of fear you're talking about? See, it is the fear of not trusting the process of life. So it is a fear where you think that you have to be in control all the time, where you don't allow things to happen or unfold. So anything which you have not thought of, whenever that will happen, it will, you will kind of immediately react to it. You will not even let the process complete. You will bring the things to halt because your mind is telling you that you need to control something before it gets out of your hand. So you are fearful, uh, and of course this fear, I'm sure, is rooted into something which must have happened to you. And sometimes we don't even realize how some things we have seen in our youth, or even when we were like just innocent babies or children, have formed, have housed inside us in the form of trapped emotions. So perhaps things which happened in your life made you go through a lot of stress. You felt totally helpless, out of control, and you thought you had to kind of push yourself to bring the life back or together for yourself. So that eventually puts you in a mindset where you always jump into things which could have just flown, right? It, you just forget how to lovingly release your day, so that you can peacefully sleep, right? You just, because you've gone through something in your past and you think that you need to be in control. And sometimes, in this one more reason, sometimes which is rooted in the insomnia, is guilt of something. And again, this guilt comes from controlling things, because somewhere deep down inside, whatever your brain is telling you, your mind is telling you, because you've been conditioned to think in this way, because your experiences told you so, and because you basically had to use that as coping mechanism when you were helpless, right? But once you grow up, you are an adult, you're not as helpless. And I keep talking about it, I and I have spoken about it at length in my video about alcoholism, right? You can watch that as well. So just you were helpless then, but you're not helpless anymore, right? So you can let things to happen. You don't have to kind of act and sit on the fence all the time and act right away. Allow things to happen, go through the process, allow things which are coming in your life to happen, open yourself to it, and see where it leads them. If it would require an action, you can anyways take action. You are an adult now. Now that's something you can only do if you are in a peaceful mental state, right? Otherwise, you would react to everything, and there's something called silent reaction. Yeah, reaction does not always mean that you will have an outburst of anger, or you will blurt out something, or you will show your immediate dislike to something, or you would say immediate yes even when you wanted to say no, because that has become your habit to please people, right? That is one kind of reaction for sure, impulsive reactions. And there's one more reaction which is more internal, which is silent kind of reaction, where you keep things jarred inside you, bottled, right? And you know what, when you do that, you halt the others lives too. You start interfering in others lives too. You don't let the lives of people around you also flow just because you are fearful of something, right? And no matter what, your inner self knows that what you're doing is something unhealthy, at least to others, right? If you are okay to harm yourself, to be little self destructive, I can't say much, because at the end of the day, it is your responsibility. Your health is your responsibility at the end of the day. But yeah, I would say playing with others' health will definitely lead you to guilt, right? So, and another thing which triggers insomnia is, please don't get me wrong, right? Insomniac people are usually manipulative. So when I say manipulative, I don't really mean in the negative sense. So sometimes even for positive outcomes in life, we think we need to manipulate, we need to strategize, we need to plan things, we need to say like, talk like this, act like this, behave like this. Again, this manipulation, of course the outcome you're desiring is something positive, but again this manipulation arises because you are mistrustful of the process of life, because you think कि आपको कुछ करना ही होगा, you need to do something about things so that they can actually produce the positive outcome. But the truth is, we don't we have to let the life flow, because there are many lessons of life hidden there, and that's how things are supposed to be. Yeah, you cannot disrupt the process, and you are so successful at work, like I told you in the beginning, these are the people who are usually very good at work. Yeah, so you know there's a process to everything, and following the process always makes things easy. So why aren't you ready to accept this about life? Just because you had some experience, or maybe okay, a few experiences which backfired or which were unpleasant in life, that doesn't mean it will continue to happen again, right? So I am driving, and let's say my car bumps into something. Does that mean I will stop driving the car? No, if I will, of course, if I will stop driving the car, I have to pay the price of it, right? I like to drive the car because my own car, because it makes me feel independent, and just because I trust the fact that everything will be fine, and if something happens, I can tackle it. But just by trusting that particular thing, and by trusting the fact that everyone else also driving on the road would drive sensibly, just trusting the fact gives me courage and a peaceful and a calm mindset to drive, which automatically also prevents the accidents happening to me, right? So, but when I am always in that mindset, anxiety, oh देखा वो कैसे चला गया, oh they were not driving well, I am I'm more prone to accident because I'm not in a peaceful mental state, right? So the same thing happens with insomniacs, right? So, and these are the people who are usually confused. Very interestingly, people who want to who want to keep their cake and they want to eat it too. So how can you do both the things? You don't want your cake to get over, but you want to taste it also. So you will have to take a side, isn't it? So let me give you one example. So it's like you want to stay bachelor, you want to continue to have the benefits of being a bachelor, staying emotionally free, but you still want someone to take care of you. Now how is that possible, right? So if you want to get taken care of, you will have to care for as well, isn't it? Again, you're not trusting the process of life because you have already believed that committing to someone uh, will mean being controlled. But I don't think it's true of all relationships, isn't it? Or maybe when a new project comes, so you want it bad, but you still continue to stay in that stuck place and continue to just stay being confused basis your old experiences, and you're not ready to fill in those gaps because you know you'll have to do work for it. You don't want to do the work, but then you want that project, you want that promotion, I don't know, or you want that girl or you want that boy, I don't know how that will happen. So action forward, what an action which is right for you during the day is something which will help you snap out of the fears you developed in the childhood or in the youth or maybe recently also, and will ensure a more clear conscience, a guilt free conscience, just by starting to trust the process, right? Just by lovingly releasing your fear of something which may backfire can help you get back that sleep you're dying for. Your bedroom will stop being a reason of stress and anxiety. It's a place to release and to relieve the stress and anxiety, right? And yes, other than that, please continue to practice the other practices like dim lights, light music, taking a bath, or maybe a warm glass of milk before bedtime, and think happy thoughts and start to journal and release whatever fears you have one by one. At least care to know what you're afraid of and what are the guilts you have. And if you think you can't do it alone, please reach out to me, drop me an email. I am ready to help you and work with you, work on your sleep so that you can be your best version, right? And you know what? Just start working on the gaps, those emotional gaps you have in your life, right? And keep working on your health. I really want you to keep dealing with your gaps until you actually get on the other side, right? So take up desirable challenges instead of undesirable challenges. Stop fighting life, flow with life, right? And see yourself getting cured even without the sleeping pills. Yeah, of course, it's a process, but if you are committed to the process, you can be the healthy body once again, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Take care. I will see you in the next video. Bye.